I'm Ryan Day.
And I'm Elena Pinson, and this is your newscast for Friday, February 6th.
Seniors, make sure you order your caps and gowns. Do not wait until the last minute as they are required for your graduation. Go to the Herff Jones website to buy your cap and gown today.
Over the weeks, we have had lots of snowy weather, which resulted in multiple snow days for the Mishawaka school system. We will have makeup days 3 days at the end of the school year, which means our last day of school will be June 1st.
On Monday, a group of students held a walkout protest against ice during advisory. These students marched from the pool doors down to City Hall. Several news stations came out to report on and interview individuals during this event, including WNDU and ABC 57.
A statement was sent out to all family and staff from Principal Chad Brew about the protest being unapproved by MHS administration, stating Mishawaka High School supports our students and respects your constitutional right to protest and express your voices. However, it is critical that any such activity is done safely, responsibly, and in accordance with school expectations. Protests must remain on school property, follow all school rules, and comply with the directions of school administration. These events should not interfere with our primary purpose, which is to educate all students.
NHS inductions were postponed from January 26th and took place February 2nd at 6 p.m. Members were expected to do at least 20 service community hours. The induction took place at MHS Auditorium. Congratulations to those who were inducted.
The Student Council has begun to sell Valentine's grams during all lunches. These can be a special gift for your loved ones here at MHS. Sales will go through Thursday, February 12th, and will be delivered on Friday, February 13th.
Rehearsals for this year's spring musical, Chicago Teen Edition, are underway. Set building has been started for the musical and will continue throughout the month. Contact Sarah Beeson to be added to the virtual call board for more information.
The MHS Choir, Band, and Orchestra have been hard at work on their ISMA pieces for both solo, ensemble, and organizational. The band and orchestra performed on Saturday, January 31st at Northwood High School, and the choir will perform tomorrow at Penn High School. Congratulations to all band and orchestra students heading to state.
Tomorrow on February 7th, the MHS Winter Guard will be performing their show, I Know What You Are, at Snyder High School. Good luck to the team in Fort Wayne.
The winners of the Scholastic Art Awards will be recognized at Century Center on Saturday, February 28th at 10:30 a.m. If you are a winner this year, please plan to attend with your family. Mishawaka High School won more awards than any other school in the region. Our students' work can be viewed at the Werner Gallery at Century Center end of February through the month of March.
Here at Mishawaka Network, we broadcast many events like basketball, volleyball, football, and many more. For these games, students have to know how to announce games and know how to talk about the game.
I love being the voice that narrates people through what's going on the court, on the field. Being able to share that experience with them is a fun thing, and I just love being around the atmosphere, game in and game out.
My favorite part of doing sportscasting is being able to be in the great moments of the game.
Broadcasting, like many things, is not always easy, and it involves a substantial amount of effort and participation.
I would say the toughest part of doing it sometimes is dealing with the noise going around. The energy is rising up and you have to stay unbiased, you have to stay very calm and content while you're still delivering what's going on the court, on the field.
The hardest part of doing sportscasting is actually knowing the game, because you can say what's happening all you want, but if you don't know what the plays are called, what the fouls are, if you don't know how the game works, it's really hard to be able to tell the audience what's happening. So definitely it's a process of learning how the game works and what different plays are called and what to look out for, so that in the future you can better develop your skills and be able to communicate even better to the audience and make it accessible to everyone, even if you're not physically there.
I prepare by doing as much as I can. I try to go and think about anything that may come up, and even more than that, going into the event. If there's something that I know will happen, I'm gonna go ahead and follow up on that and give even more detail. So there's always something to say. When there's dead space, I can come up with something. I can have a conversation with who I'm calling the game with. Always making sure I prepare to the highest degree to make sure there's never any dead space, always something to say.
The girls basketball team finished off their regular season by taking on Goshen last Thursday in the Cave. After the emotional senior night festivities, the team started strong and finished off the season with a win against the Redhawks, 40-25.
This Tuesday, the girls basketball team went against Adams at Penn High School in the first round of sectionals. In a tight game, the Caveman girls season came to an end losing 49-44. Congratulations on the season.
The boys basketball team traveled to Fairfield last Tuesday, losing with a final score of 66-36. On Friday, they came back home to take on Goshen, losing 55-34. Yesterday, they faced off against Warsaw at home, a game that was live-streamed on the Mishawaka network. The boys basketball sectional pairings show will be held on February 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The boys sectionals will be held at Mishawaka High School.
The boys wrestling team competed in sectionals last Saturday at Mishawaka. They placed second, beating out Riley by half a point. The Penn Kingsmen came in first with 313.5 points. Cavemen that got sectionals titles were Brody Blevins, Chance Smith, and Corey Gardner. 13 Mishawaka wrestlers are moving on to regionals tomorrow at Penn.
The boys swim and dive team competed in the NLC conference finals last Saturday. Thomas Wanling set 2 new school records at the conference finals, breaking the previous records in the 50-yard freestyle and the 100-yard butterfly. The 100-yard butterfly was previously held by current Mishawaka coach and former Mishawaka swimmer Eric Arsenault.
The dance team had a great performance at the boys basketball team on Friday. They hosted a dance class on Sunday, February 1st. They met in the Commons and the class was held from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Track and field is starting up. The first practice will be held on February 16th. If you want to participate, make sure you have your physical and your final forms turned in. If you're interested in competing, talk to Coach Cove or Coach Shaw. At the Humane Society, there are many amazing pets waiting for adoptions, so this week we'll be spotlighting 2. First up is a 3-year-old Rottweiler mix named Apollo. Is the sweetest, gentle giant ever. He would love an adopter who will take him on adventures, but who will also cuddle up with him on lazy days. He is waiting for someone to love.
Next up is a domestic short-hair calico named We Were Doomed from the Start. The king is dead. She is 3 years old and has been waiting for adoption since October. The Humane Society of St. Joseph County is also holding a Valentine's Day blood drive. It is a great way to give back to the community.
Registration is now closed for the Special Olympics Polar Plunge. By participating, Mishawaka students and staff are helping raise money for the Special Olympics Indiana. The event will take place on Saturday, February 28th at Four Winds Field.
Bethel Scholarship for Mr. Troyer, former Bethel men's basketball coach, presented Dave Troyer Memorial Scholarship at halftime of the boys basketball game during Goshen on Friday. Dave Troyer wore the number 51 for the Bethel men's basketball program and served at Mishawaka school system for 25 years. Fans can give at the following link to support sending student from Mishawaka High School to Bethel University.
This week was National School Counseling Week. Thank you to all the counselors for everything you do, and a special shout out to our counseling team, Mrs. Raffalock, Mrs. Santilli, Mrs. Hernandez, Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. Acosta, and Mrs. Murphy.
Every year, a Groundhog Day event takes place in Pennsylvania. When Puxatawny Phil comes out, if he sees a shadow, it means there's 6 more weeks of winter. If he does not, there will be an early spring. On Monday, when Phil came out of his enclosure, he saw a shadow, which means there will be 6 more weeks of winter.
This Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, one of the most watched events in the world. The Seattle Seahawks face the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 at 6:30 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California.
Next weekend, we will have another 3-day weekend. Our next scheduled day off is President's Day that will take place on February 16th.
February is Black History Month. In honor of Black History Month, we bring you some Mishawaka history. The first Black graduate of Mishawaka High School, Medora Powell, graduated over 100 years ago in 1877. Her graduation marked an early example of integration in Mishawaka and is a staple of our unity and diversity.
That's all for your news this week. Shout out to my parents. Good luck to the wrestlers at Penn.
And shout out to my mom. Good luck to the choir at ISMA. Have a great weekend, cavemen.